Hello and very warm welcome to Dr. Zia Ahmed YouTube channel. In this short video, I shall be discussing Chapter 8 of Twilight in Delhi, the novel, written by Professor Ahmed Ali. I have already recorded videos on this novel, and this one is going to add something into it. Chapter 8, as I can show you here, is about the superstition or superstitious attitude that the people of Mughal Muslim Delhi had at that time. These superstitions have already always existed. They are not going anywhere. In the modern world also we have lots of superstitions, but here a type of superstition of yore and existing even till today exists there. That goes to tell us about the knowledge or the awareness the people had at that time and how much they were following the superstitions which their forefathers had told them. So let us see what does the chapter hold for us. And for this purpose, we need to look at the chapter first of all. It says, the heat was oppressive, so definitely the chapter is beginning with the same heat, and the circumstances are developing that the storm should come, a heavy storm full of sand. First of all, the writer says that it was a type of loo, I mean the warm air, and later on it turned into very hot kind of sand, and the storm began to blow. When the sand was rising in the sky, the color of the sky was changing up to some extent. It looked very different at that time when the sand was up, when the air was up, and the writer has tried to compare it with some kind of locust storm that has been compared by him. And as soon as the storm came, the sparrows, the little birds, and the crows, they tried to save themselves, and sometime in the twigs or the branches of the trees, and the henna tree, which was definitely in the center of the house of Mead Nihal, that was also the kind of sport for such birds. So when the whole storm had come at that time, some of the indications have been given what the people at house of Mead Nihal were doing. For example, what the women were doing or what the children were doing. All of these people were feeling much suffocated and had closed themselves into a room, a very big room where all of them were present. And so some of the talk has been discussed here in order to show what kind of superstition was there. Like Begum Nihal shouted to Mehru and the children to come inside the room. Dilchain hurriedly gathered the rags and clothes which lay scattered in the courtyard. Begum Jamal and her sister-in-law came down from the courtyard. Everyone found shelter inside the big room. Behind the veranda, the wind howled and moaned and floated in the air, and it grew dark as the night. For God's sake, put a broom under the leg of a bed, shouted Begum Jamal, and Begum Nihal cried, "Where is Majid? Has anyone seen the boy?" A lantern was lighted and the eyes found some rest. "I'm here, grandmother," Begum Wahid's 8-year-old son said as he bent down to put the broom under the leg of Begum Nihal's old wedding bed, but he could not do it, and Dilchan came to his aid. Begum Wahid's daughter, Rokeya, head was uncovered, and Anjum Zamani said to her, "Cover your head, daughter, or some evil spirit may harm you," Mehru said to Majid. So in that way, you can see that this dialogue which is going on reflects two, three things. The first thing is that a broom is being searched for. Broom is being searched for so that it can be put under the pole of some charpai or some bedding place so that the storm may stop. Perhaps it was believed by the people at that time that if this arrangement is done, definitely the storm can stop. So that was the kind of superstition. People didn't know that the storm comes because of the forces of nature, which cannot be stopped by putting broom under the pole of a bed. So this is what the kind of attitude people had. Most of these people, the people we are coming across in this novel, in this chapter, in this page, are the people who are not that literate. At least they are not literate scientifically at the maximum. They are literate with the kind of superstitions, instructions which they have been listening to from their forefathers. So that is why they try to put the broom under the pole of the bed. The broom is first of all put by the son of Begum Wahid, and later on he is helped by Dilchan also, and so in that way. Majid is the son of Begum Wahid and Dilchan. Both support each other. But another thing is very important here that Anju Zamani has tried to point out in such a situation when everybody is in trouble at that time. She looks at the head of the daughter of Begum Wahid, Ruqayya, that is not covered, and immediately she says that if you should cover your head, because if you don't cover your head, some evil spirit can capture you. So in that way, some of the superstitions are highlighted by the writer, and the world of the woman how it was governed, and what was governing this world. That has also been talked about by drawing the kind of image of the storm and the hurry and worry of the people. So in this way, the things go on, and ultimately another thing comes up here in order to let us know what actually was believed about the storm. For example, Mehru said to Majid, "You come to me, child, lest some evil eye strike you. Why do you put the broom there, aunt?" asked Majid. "Because our elders say if you put a broom under the leg of a bed, the windstorm abates. It's the marriage party of some great jinn that's going on." So this is another type of belief about the stormy situation, that genie is flying, genie is making a party, and that is why this kind of thing is happening. So in this way, different things attached with the superstitious attitude of the people have been pointed out. And again, the question comes that where are the genie? We have never seen it. Uh, the answer comes from an elderly person says, Begum Jamal, she says, "Hast thou lost thy reason, boy? Dared you go out, and I will break thy leg?" And she began to complain, beating her breast with one hand. Those boys fear neither the wind nor the rain. So, this is the kind of thing, the womanly attitude, which is highlighted in a very bitter way, the bitter style, that she would break the leg on the one hand, on the other hand, she begins to beat her breast and say the things that boys are not careful at all. So that way, the storm continues to pass on. But while the storm is going on, the major discussion is again and again highlighted by the writer, that Begum Wahid and Begum Mir Nihal both are having a big debate on Asgar's marriage. So that is why little chunks of the text point out to that thing as well, what they should do, how they should do, and they try to, conclude the discussion. But again and again, Begum Wahid is there to advocate her brother, and Begum Mir Nihal is there to show the anger of her husband. So in that way, that talk also continues with that. So genies are told to be, sometimes they are evil spirits according to them, but most of the time they're good spirits and Muslims like them, and they are holy also. Asgar's marriage issue continues to be debated here, and ultimately Begum Mir Nihal agrees to this kind of situation. Not only the storm passes, not only the sandstorm passes, not only the darkness, and not only the light of the sun begins to enter and the lantern is blown out. In such a situation where everything stormy has passed, Begum Nihal at last says that she would be there to talk to the father in order to clarify the whole situation. Another thing which will be debated in large in some next chapter is about the water carrier who comes in the home in order to solve the problem of the dust which has fallen here and there. He brings a lot of water in order to solve water. So this is chapter 8. Next time, we will be talking about chapter 9, which is equally significant. The students are required to take care of these 2 points, that is superstitious attitude, the women's attitude when they are not that literate, how do they spend the time when the stormy situation happens. So, my dear students, it was chapter 8. So that's it from me for this day. Hope to see you again in the recording of some other chapter. If you get some understanding, if you like it, do not fail to hit the subscribe button and to hit the like button. Comments are also welcome. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again.